You know Dewey's Bakery for its iconic sweets and treats, the sugar cakes, the thin cookies, and the cake squares, especially on Mondays when you can get one of those delectable squares for free. But during these hot months, you can't forget about the ice cream. Made from scratch and featuring all your favorite flavors, Dewey's ice cream is the perfect way to beat the heat this summer. And what do we always tell you about Dewey's? It's the place for all of life's celebrations. And in the summer, that means weddings. Since 1930, Dewey's has been crafting delicious wedding cakes, plus custom cupcakes and groom's cakes. Team up with one of their celebration specialists to find the perfect fit for your special day. To get started, just email cake@deweys.com or swing by the Thruway location in Winston-Salem. And for any of your everyday cravings, you can also visit the store at Rinalda Manor or at Friendly Shopping Center in Greensboro. Dewey's, celebrate every day. The upcoming podcast of Twin City Talk is produced by Tim Beeman of Such and Such Media. Start your own podcasting journey by visiting suchandsuchmedianc.com. These podcasts are produced weekly, and every episode can be found at their website, twincitytalk.com.
Welcome to Twin City Talk. Today we are talking to Courtney Jones with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is a great organization here. Can you tell us a little more about all that you guys do here?
Absolutely. So we, one thing I'll just name is that Big Brothers Big Sisters, our local office runs up to a larger company. So we are a part of a national brand. Big Brothers Big Sisters of America has been around since 1904.
Wow.
So excuse me, oldest and largest mentoring organization. And we have agencies across the country. So there are agencies in every state, in all 50 states. Locally, we've been here since 1977. So 48 years
That's
of
cool.
Impacting the lives of young people.
Do you know how many are in North Carolina by chance?
Yeah, there's 5 agencies in North Carolina.
Cool.
And so still a pretty significant footprint not covered, which is something that the 5 of us have been talking about. But yeah, there's 5 agencies here in North Carolina.
So what all does the Winston-Salem agency do?
Yeah, so we are, at the heart of who we are a mentoring organization. So our mission is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. So to break that down a little bit, the creation part is that we bring together caring adults and young people to be matched in a mentoring relationship. So a big brother, big sister, or big for short, coming together with a little brother, little sister, little for short, to create kind of a relationship that in most cases is a lasting relationship. So we deliver mentoring programming through really 2 main channels. So the first is our community-based model. And our community-based model is where we have a young person whose parent or guardian has brought them to us and trusted us to find a mentor for their young person. And the mentors are volunteers. Mm-hmm. And so they come to us. There is a pretty extensive enrollment process. Child safety and protection is at the top of our list. And as I said, these parents are trusting us to find a stranger that's going to be a safe person for their young person. And so in that community-based model, we go through our enrollment process and we identify through the information we learn in our enrollment process for the big and for the little. And it kind of feels like a needle in a haystack kind of situation. It's almost like the dating game or Match.com, you know. So we've got these things over here lining up, looking to line them up with these things over here.
Roommates for colleges, probably.
Yes, like there is a little bit of a method to the madness, or maybe a lot of bit of a method to the madness. And so we propose the little to the big. If the big approves, we propose the big to the littles and their parent guardian. And once we have a yes on both sides, then we bring them together for a match meeting. And they start meeting. We ask volunteers to, on average, spend about 4 hours a month with their little. So sometimes that shakes out to be about an hour a week.
What kind of things do they do with them?
They can do really anything that the big, the little, and the parent or guardian agree to. One of the things that we really want to promote and always promote is that we're not expecting bigs to spend money. Now, they will likely do it, but it's not a requirement. We're asking them to create experiences to expose their young folks. So it can be something as simple as taking them on errands with them and just having a young person watch how they engage with folks in the grocery store. Like, they are picking up on cues about how to show up in the world, exposing them to things. And so they may do parks together. They may do video games together. So again, some of them do spend money, and so they will go out to dinner together. A number of different things. One of the things that is beautiful for me in seeing these match relationships is that these mentors are meeting these young folks where they are and kind of what matters to them, right? Because one of the things I say is that as we age, it gets very easy to disconnect from the reality that young people are still humans. And so seeing our mentors really honor the humanity of their littles is a beautiful thing to me. So that's our community model. We have a site-based model. And what that means is that the mentoring happens at a site. And our site-based programming right now is primarily focused in schools. So we have about 13 partner schools that we are partnered with in the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School District. And so in our site-based, school-based mentoring, it can be a volunteer who comes to the school, and the school has identified the students that are going to benefit from our programming. And so that volunteer can go, and often it's like a lunch type of situation. They'd go and have lunch with their little. Gotcha. Again, not required to provide lunch, but to just be present. And for some of our volunteers, that works much better because they don't have evening time and weekend time, but they could spend their lunch break because it's about 30 minutes of time. One of the taglines we have nationally is that it takes little to be big. So it really is just like a small piece of their time. And then we also have group mentoring in our school-based program. And so that is where a member of the BBBS staff are going and meeting with a group of kids at once. And we go in with a curriculum that is social and emotional learning focused. And we're teaching them things about goal setting. We're teaching them things about conflict resolution, managing emotion, right?
That they don't get taught.
Exactly. Yeah. And even like managing emotions and feelings, like being able to name them. One of the things that I think even adults struggle with is being able to name a feeling, right? Yeah. They may name a cognitive process. How are you feeling? I'm feeling confused. Well, that's more of a cognitive process. So what do you feel when you're confused? And really teaching them to go inside their body and figure out what's going on and then know what to do with it. Yeah. So those are the types of things that we're going in to support our littles with, that we are providing care to in that way. Mentorship is an excellent intervention. And it doesn't always mean the youth in our program, there's not always a deficit in terms of a behavioral issue or, because we are very clear, like we're not coming in to be behavioral interventionists. We are coming in to offer some support in teaching young folks how to grow the social and emotional parts of themselves. Our volunteers are giving them a sense of future and allowing them to think about things that they may not have ever given any energy to. So, and then we also have about 150, a little over 150 kids that are waiting for a mentor.
What's the age range of the littles?
We have eligibility is age 6 to 17. And so in our waiting list, it's heavily populated with middle schoolers and boys. And a lot of that is just due to preferences of our mentors. And we don't get a lot of male mentors, volunteers. And so that creates the gap in terms of what we have. But we want those littles to be able to feel connected to the agency, even though they're waiting. So about once a quarter, we try to host an event that is specifically geared towards them. One of the things that helps us is having community partners who are able to come alongside us, either host an event or provide funding or, provide personhoodness to a group of kids. We've had companies come and do a game night. And so they provided the games and the people resources. So those are things that help us continue to keep those young folks connected while they're waiting for their mentor.
How'd you get involved with the agency?
So that's like cute little story. I actually was in banking for 15 plus years, decided that I needed to do a career shift and went back to school and went to Wake Forest. And I'm a Tar Heel, so there's the thing with that. But I live in Winston, so the opportunity was
right
Wake
there,
Forest.
yeah.
And so I pursued a dual master's in divinity, master's in counseling. And after my first year, it's 4 years total. Mm-hmm. After my first year, saw an opportunity to come because I was like, I probably need a little part-time something because I was not working for that first year. And there was a position posted on LinkedIn for an operations manager at Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I did not know about, like many people, seems like a good time to say this, was confusing Boys and Girls Club with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so I'd heard of the Boys and Girls Club. I'd not really heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters, but saw this position posted from my predecessor and was like, I reached out and was able to come on board, quickly moved into kind of leading our programs, and then did that for about 2.5 years. And right as I was finishing up school, my predecessor got an opportunity that he could not turn down, and our board decided that I would be a good candidate to succeed him. And so I've been president and CEO for maybe 60 days. Today is probably my 60 days.
Yay, congrats.
Actually, because my effective date was May 1st as president and CEO.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thank you.
So where are you from originally?
I am originally from New Bern, North Carolina.
Really?
On
Cool.
the coast.
That's a pretty town.
Yeah. Most people...
Home of Pepsi.
Yes.
Pepsi, and we were the first capital of
Yep,
North
yep.
Carolina. And I like anybody who's from New Bern has the same, it's embedded in you.
Yep.
Like you are grown with it. But yeah, New Bern, North Carolina.
Yeah, when did you move to Winston?
So again, there's a journey there, right? And so
There always is.
Always a journey. Did Carolina as my undergraduate work, and was working. My second job out of college was working with Carolina Donor Services. They're a different name now, but they had offices in Greenville, in Durham, where I was living at the time, and in Winston-Salem. And my friends, it's great to have friends who are doing things because it kind of makes you go, I maybe should do something too. I had friends who were all going to graduate school. We'd been out of school a year or two and they were going to graduate school. And I was like, I probably should do something too. And so Winston-Salem State University had begun an evening MBA program, Master's in Business Administration. And I thought I can move to Winston, transfer to the office in Winston, and go to school in the evening. And I had children, and their father was here. We could all be here and have support. And so that's when I came to Winston. That was in 2004.
Oh, so
Yeah.
You've been here for
Been
a
here a
while.
little
A
while.
long time. And so long that people think I'm from here. And I'm like, actually, I'm not. But after 20 years, you've become...
you're a native, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a Camel citizen now.
Yeah.
It is for sure.
It's time to get serious about your financial future. It's never too early, but it could be too late to get started. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, getting started. How much do I save? Where do I invest? Do I save for college or retirement? How much for each? And who do I talk to about it all? Okay, we'll keep things simple for now and help you answer the last one. We recommend you begin with a local financial advisor, and that's Jennifer Johnson of Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. She'll sit down with you for a complimentary introductory consultation and go over all of your questions. Get started on the path to achieving your financial goals. Visit 3magnoliasfinancialadvisors.com or call 336-701-1600. Get comfortable with your financial future. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Retirement, financial planning, and investments. Securities offered through Private Client Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors and Private Client Services are not affiliated. Private Client Services is under separate ownership from any other named entity. There's nothing like summertime here in the North Carolina Triad. And when it comes to the season's can't-miss events, At the top of the list is the Coal Pit Live Music Series at Incendiary Brewing in downtown Winston-Salem. And this year, our wonderful partners at the Ginther Group are proud to sponsor it to help provide unforgettable fun all summer long. The 2025 schedule begins on May 31st and runs all the way through Incendiary's 7th anniversary party on September 13th. If you visit theginthergroup.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram, you'll be able to see the details on every upcoming show, along with any special promotions. Again, a huge shout out to the Ginther Group Real Estate for sponsoring this year's Coal Pit Live series at Incendiary Brewing. And a great way to join us in helping to say thank you, just keep them in mind for all your real estate needs. It's one simple phone call, 336-283-8689, or just one simple click to theginthergroup.com.
So what do you love about it now that you've been here for that long?
You know what? It's a great place. It's like, having come from New Bern where everything is slower, not to like say anything bad about my hometown, but there's enough happening in Winston that it's not like dull, but not so much that you're like, this is a horrible place to like raise kids, right? So I appreciate the kind of diversity that it offers in terms of things you can have exposure to, like the Black Theater Festival, like living in the city where it happens is like super, super cool. To be here, and there is Winston-Salem State and Wake Forest. And so my second born just graduated from Winston-Salem State.
Oh, cool.
And so, you know, to have these things available, Salem College, like there are options here. And I can't think of anything in raising my older children that I had to say, well, gosh, Winston doesn't even have this. Like, I don't recall there being a need to be able to effectively have a good, you know, well-rounded family and well-rounded kids that we couldn't find here.
How old are your children?
So, kid you not when I tell you these ages, my children are 27, 24, 7, and 3.
That's like me. So I have a 2, a 3, and an 18-year-old. So there's like a big gap between the middle and the oldest.
Literally 20 years between each set of children. So, yeah.
It's fun, right?
It's
never dull. That's what I say.
Never dull. I was just like, I'm 48 years old, and my 3-year-old last night, I think sometimes when the moon does something weird, they just like, it's not necessarily sleep regression, but it's not sleep regression, you know? They're like, you're 3 and I need you to sleep all night. But there are just these like, I need to see what the moon was doing because she was having a night of just like restlessness. And I remember thinking this morning, I'm 48 and I did not get a full night of sleep because I have a 3-year-old. Like something about that seems weird and also a blessing at the same time.
Yeah, I can totally relate. So I'm 42 and then I have the 2 and the 3-year-old. And it's I haven't slept in 3 years basically.
You never get it back, like ever.
Yeah.
I have one who's 23 and
you're sleeping good.
well, the thing is I hate sleep.
Really?
I hate it.
Can you send it our way?
Right.
Yeah,
I'll borrow some of yours.
I do not want to sleep, but I know that I have to, and that really doesn't set well with me because I don't like people telling me I have to do stuff. And it's not people, it's my body.
Yeah, I was going to say it's your body.
But at the same time, I'm like, there's got to be something else I could be doing.
It's hilarious. And those of us who are just like, I would beg and plead just for a good 3 hours of like not interrupted.
My youngest has like digestive problems, so that's part of why she's not sleeping well. And like the last 2 nights, she actually slept for like 5 hours straight, which is like amazing for her. So I'm like, I actually got a little bit of sleep the last 2 nights.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't wait to tell them these stories when they're a little older.
Yeah. So my adult children, if they give me grief about anything, I'm like, you do know I was y'all's age that y'all are right now when I had y'all, right? And they're like, oh, yeah. You can't imagine having 2 little people at your age. Like, seriously.
So it is like, there are like easier aspects. Like now that I've been both a younger and older mom, it's like, there's pros and cons of both.
There are. My oldest said to me, you used to be the young parent in the group. Now you're going to be the old parent in the group when I had my younger 2.
Well, you look very young, just so you know.
I appreciate it.
And I love the blue.
I do too.
Thank you. Blue is actually my favorite color.
You don't look 48 at all.
For real 48. Like
Yeah.
So let me ask, this is a practical question. With the blue, does that help you to be in touch with the littles
It
more?
actually
bet it
does. That's a
does,
great
yeah.
question. It's the cutest thing that I go into schools. Most of the time when I'm going in, it's to meet with the leadership about the program. Occasionally I'll meet with some kids or something. But inevitably, they like walk by and do a double take, like, and so it's the cutest thing to like see their reaction, and also just adults as well, because I get all the time, oh, I wish I was that brave, and I'm like, you can't be. It's not that
Can
deep.
be.
You can do it.
Well, it's like me with 2 ponytails, you know. It's people are like, why? I'm like,
Why not?
why not?
Yeah.
My wife calls me DJ Timmy Two Tails.
Oh my gosh.
That's super cute. I love that.
So do you have any, I'm sure you have a lot, but like memorable stories of like moments? Because I'm sure you have a lot of.
From being with Big Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tons of things.
And you can share.
Yeah. Well, I think the cool thing is we are often matching, not often, we are always matching sight unseen, right? So like they get a profile, the bigs get a profile. It's got some demographic information, but there's no picture. There's none of that. And the most beautiful thing is having these match meetings and seeing the like immediate beauty that comes on faces of these kids that have been waiting, some of them for a long time. And to just see that moment of connection is beautiful. So those are always, the meeting stories are always great. And just really kind of knowing how what the impact ends up being for both the big and the little. We have bigs who tell us often that they are surprised at how much they gain from being a big. You
Do you
know,
have littles that have sort of aged out of the program, but then say later, like talk about it?
yeah, we and most of the time, even once they age out, they maintain a relationship
That's really
with
cool.
their. We have one of our board members and her little were matched for years, even before they got matched, even before our big had children, and so our big. And she is a board member, exposed her little to cooking. Her little has since has a business as a chef.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they she exposed, because she was going and taking trips, her little began intrigued by that. So she has become a person that explores the world,
awesome.
because of what her big sister exposed her
It's
to.
amazing the
And
impact they're having on.
it really is. And just seeing it becomes like, it really is a family unit kind of thing. Like the big becomes a part of the little's family, the little becomes a part of the big's family, and it's just all kind of like one big thing. And I'll say I have had the opportunity to be a big, and I did it in our school-based programming. So I had I had about 5 that I met with individually, and for me, I had middle schoolers. I have young people and I have adults. I don't have kind of this like middle high school connection now, right? And I become this big, and it's amazing the things that I learned. Just like, what is that called again? Like, what did you say? And just to see like the things that they are contending with, further supporting my really strong stance on honoring the humanity of young folks, because they're humans. They got their own stuff, and being able to just be present with them is amazing.
How often do former littles go on to be bigs?
It happens. It does happen. It doesn't happen as frequently as we like for it to, but it absolutely does happen. We have a couple board members who are former littles.
Wow.
We have a couple of bigs who are former littles, but the advocacy and the stories that they tell are super helpful for helping us to really move our mission forward, because they are real actual beneficiaries of what they experienced.
Yeah, they've lived it.
They've lived it.
So here in Winston, for your Winston agency, what's the biggest need you have as mentors? Like,
Well, so we are a nonprofit organization. So I would say it's we kind of run a funding and a volunteer need hand in hand
All the time.
all the time. And so those two areas, we kind of have a time, talent, treasure thing. And so, if we have folks who can come alongside us and give their time as a big, or even, some one-off volunteer opportunities that we may have, their talents, sharing, what they are able to do. We've had some really cool folks come alongside us and offer their talent to provide activities to some of our kids. And then treasure, right, is like helping us with the funding. As I said, we have over 150 kids that are waiting, and some of them well into a year.
Wow.
And so that volunteer resource is a need. And also, in order for us to really get even close to keeping up with the demand of mentorship, particularly in our school-based programming, that requires that group mentoring, which has a different cost. We support, in our mission, you heard me say create and support. The support part is that we have an ongoing relationship with that match. So we don't just match them and move on. Every month, our team is talking to the big, the little, the parent guardian for that first year. After that first year, every 3 months, we're talking to them because we want to make sure we do have policies we expect to be adhered to. So we're checking for that. But just that support, like, how well are you connecting? Are you needing some help in one area or another? Helping to set realistic expectations about the way the match will progress. We have a really strong training program for our mentors. And so I think what we do in our match support, I know what we do in our match support helps to continue to reinforce and provide ongoing training.
How much do they talk before they have that meeting?
They don't.
Really?
They don't. Like they
So
literally
just get the profiles and
they get the
confirm.
profiles, and so for us, it can be a no. It can be a no anytime, but like the match isn't activated until after that match meeting happens.
Gotcha.
They cannot be matched and get to the activation until they've done training. So we've kind of set expectations all along.
How much? Like, how long is the training?
It is like an hour. So there's two training sessions.
Gotcha.
There is a web-based training that's hosted by our national office. So they do that kind of on their time. It takes hour-ish time to do it. And then there is training that we host, and it takes us depending on like how many people are in it at a time, depending on questions that may come up, conversations, because it's an interactive training, but that is about an hour. So it really is there is a lot put into it, but we would still say it's not a heavy lift on the mentor. Like it takes little to be big really is a thing. We want to, because we're not providing stipends to the bigs. We're not providing, we try to host a match activity monthly to try to help give them ideas and provide them something to do. And so we may do that with us. We may have a partner in the community that helps us with that. But ultimately, the big is really kind of owning that relationship. And so whatever we can do to support them is what we do. But it doesn't include, let me give you $15 to go take him out, which nowadays that would probably only feed my 3-year-old. But yeah.
Well, how can people find out about your organization?
Absolutely. So our website is www.bbbsnc, so Big Brothers Big Sisters North Carolina.org. So our contact information is there. You can get to us. On our website is a link to enroll to be a volunteer. There's also a link to just say you would like to get more information. So there's an inquiry link. On our website is also our link to enroll a child. We also have a link to be a financial supporter. So everything that you need, more information about our history and kind of who we are, our team is listed on our website. We also are on the social media platforms,
like
so
the
Facebook
agency
and
itself.
Facebook. Our Big Brothers Big Sisters Services Inc. is our Facebook page. Our Instagram is like BBBSNC, but we are on the social media platforms, and so any of those connection points are an option for us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
all you do
having
for our
me.
community through this program.
Thank you.
And congrats again on the promotion.
Thank you. Thank you.
And welcome.
Thank you. This is really cool. I love y'all setup.
Yeah, Well, thank you for listening to Twin City Talk. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. The views and opinions portrayed by guests on this podcast are not necessarily those of the distributors and hosting companies. And if you love this podcast, that's great, but don't think about stealing it. Reach out to us and talk about the content because it is copyrighted.